Hello, my loves. Welcome into this reading for those who have this new moon in Aries in their second house, Act 1. If you haven't already watched the introduction to these readings, you can do so by clicking on the link in the description or the one popping up on YouTube. There's more information there. It is not required, but it is recommended. So the houses in our zodiac story represent where something is happening in our journey. So where this new moon is occurring for you is in your second house. The second house is ruled by the second sign of the zodiac, which is Taurus. And so the themes of the second house deal with themes that Taurus is known for. Specifically, the second house refers to our house of values, our values and valuables. So you'll see the areas that this house represents are possessions, exchanges, morality, finances, and self-worth. So this is the area of your life that this new moon is pinging, bringing your attention to and saying, hey, we got some new energy here. We're going to be focusing on this area of our life right now. And we're going to get a second round of this focus, a much more powerful, amplified energy of this with the solar eclipse new moon, which happens at the end of this cycle, which I mentioned in the introduction. Another thing about this being your Aries house means your Pisces rising in the whole house system, but it also means that any of the planets that you have in Aries express themselves in this second house. This is always the same for you, okay? This will always be where Aries is in your chart, which means that anything that's in Aries will also be in this area. So if you haven't watched the solar readings, I recommend you go check those out and see where Aries is in your life, because this planet or the aspects that you have in this house are also relating through this archetype, this area of your life. So I was like, just lost my train of thought there. Yes. So the planet is the what, the sign it's in is the how, and the house that it's in is the where. So all of these things further refine each other. So your solar readings in Aries, whatever planets you have in Aries, that information can be further refined by applying it to this house. I hope that makes sense. This is my first time really explaining this, and so it's a little awkward for right now. And that's okay. I am opening up more and more for you guys to see me in my imperfections, okay? Part of why I do these live. So here I am, all imperfect and authentic. Okay, so our reading today is going to be to help us to stay true through all the changes that are happening to our values and our valuables. Okay, so that's what we're going to be going to the angel therapy deck to get guidance on. So if you haven't already, close your eyes, taking a few deep breaths, and open your heart to receive the guidance that's most aligned for you at this time. I invite you to do that. You can call on your spiritual support team if that feels good to you. They love to be here for this. It's not necessary, but I do love to connect with us in this way. So how you're going to stay true to your values and valuables through the changes that are going on. Interesting. Cool. So the card says, the divine truth is that your parents eternally love you to the best of their ability. The angels are helping you heal from any pain associated with your mother and father. As always in my readings, feel free to pause and journal about what the card brings up for you, what guidance you're getting as it relates to anything going on in your life. I'm going to take this card and relate it back to your self-worth. Okay, that's the area of the value system that seems most important right now and relevant to this card. But if you're having financial relations with your parents, this could also be related to that. So it feels like that in order for you to stay true to your self-worth, your sense of who you are, how you value yourself, there's a healing that gets to happen with your parents. And this could be any caregiver that you interacted with throughout your upbringing. Okay, so it doesn't have to be a biological parent. It could have just been a mentor, a caregiver, right? Okay, so apply this as it relates to you. This is such a big, beautiful, and difficult awareness and forgiveness to offer. So I love you, and I am holding space for you as you go through this process of forgiveness. A couple things here. So one thing that has really helped me to shift my dynamic and relationship with my parents is by developing a relationship with the Divine Mother and the Divine Father. Okay? Because as I've done that, I've really allowed myself to release my human family, my human parents, from the expectations that they were divine. And they weren't. And the expectations that they loved me to equal to my being deserving of love. Okay? That didn't happen. That didn't happen for anyone on this planet right now. So that's the other part that I want to talk about here, is for you to recognize that you did not get the love that you deserved as a valuable, perfect, beautiful human being that you are. You didn't get the love that you deserved. I don't care how beautiful your upbringing was, and this card is indicating that it may have been more difficult than most, or that there's layers of difficulty that you're ready to release or look at and process. You didn't get that love that you deserved and that you were really worthy of. Hello, my loves, chatting on Facebook. So if you go back and watch the introduction to this reading, it'll tell you how to navigate to your reading. They are free, but you have to go in and find your reading alignment and then wait for me to record the reading that aligns with the house that this Aries new moon is happening for you. So if you already know your rising sign, just watch the introduction and it'll guide you to that. But the introduction will also guide you to the video that I created to let you know how to enter in your own birth data and find out this information for yourselves. Okay. So back to our parents. It's a beautiful and difficult, as I said before, place to be. And it's something that our entire species is kind of waking up to as a collective. It's one of the things that I feel is really coming in strong here with this Pluto and Aquarius energy that's going to be happening 2 days after this new moon. We're all recognizing that as a collective, none of us were loved to the equal to our worth. We're all worthy of unconditional love when we came into this beautiful experience. And none of us received that. And that's been part of our journey, and that's been part of our experience. And it has created a lot of trauma, turmoil, pain, and really doubt on our worth. So I'm going to bring it back to self-worth here, okay? We are worthy of unconditional love. When we didn't receive that unconditional love, we as a being that was developing and starting to learn about the world that we were in, started to question whether or not we weren't receiving the love that we thought we deserved because intrinsically we weren't worthy of it. That is a lie. That question has created a lot of pain in our being because it is not true. It's based on a false premise. Like, am I not getting this love because I'm not worthy of this love, right? No is the answer, right? But we haven't been able to find a definitive answer to that since the question occurred when we were like forming our brains from 0 to 7. Okay. So we've been in an eternal search for this answer. Are we worthy of love? And if we are worthy of unconditional love, why did our parents not give it to us? Right? Well, because they were worthy of unconditional love and they didn't get it. And their parents were, and their parents didn't, and so on and so forth till, a long time ago. But there was a point in our history as humans where we did get this love, by the way. So that's a beautiful awareness that's going to be coming out more and more to the mainstream as we move forward here too. So good news is you are worthy of love. You didn't receive the love that you deserved, and you can stop questioning whether or not you're worthy of it. Okay, you are worthy of it. So as we're celebrating your value system, and me and your guides are guiding you to stay true to your self-worth this lunar phase. You're going to do that by releasing your parents from everything that they did to cause you to believe that you weren't worthy, and maybe even offer them some compassion for everything that they went through that caused them to feel that they weren't worthy. Okay? And if you want to use a project or a process for this, Ho'oponopono is what I recommend. Okay? It's Ho'oponopono. You can go to my website, devotedandvulnerable.com, and click on the tab that looks like it says Ho'oponopono. And you can learn more information about this. I actually have videos in my 30 Days of Ho'oponopono series that specifically focus on the mother and the father energy, okay, and how to offer Ho'oponopono to them. All right, I don't want to go too much longer here with this video and this reading, but I am really excited for this advice for you, my second housers, my Pisces risings. This is a beautiful healing, and this is a beautiful new, it feels like a new relationship you're having with your value system, with your self-worth. Right? And that's how you're going to stay true to it. Maybe for the first time in your entire freaking life. So it is a new beginning here for you, where there's a new sense of self-worth that you're sure of. Now that you've released your parents from having to reflect back to you your worth, and you just affirm it and state it for yourself. I am worthy intrinsically, without needing validation from it from anywhere else. And despite not receiving the attention and care that would have indicated that to me as a child. Okay, you are worthy, and you're gonna navigate through the changes here by knowing that and affirming that. All right, my loves, let me know if you have questions. Let me know how this resonates, and as always, namaste. The universal light within me salutes and honors the universal light within you. Namaste.